I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome back to A Course in Miracles and Practice. We're so glad you're joining us.
Yes, welcome everyone.
Today we're at lesson 250. Wow, quite a milestone. This is the final lesson in the What is the World section, and it feels like everything we've been exploring really culminates right here.
It definitely feels like a capstone, bringing together how perception shapes our reality.
Yeah, this lesson asks us to look at the power of our perception, how it shapes what we see in others, and, well, ultimately in ourselves too.
It's a beautiful landing point for this whole section. Really elevates our understanding of how the inner world kind of projects outward and how the outer world reflects back our own beliefs.
It's an invitation to a deeper kind of honesty about how we see things.
Absolutely.
Now, before we begin our exploration today, just a quick reminder for everyone listening, don't forget Spotify this week.
Ah, yes.
We're asking how you navigate those moments, when someone triggers your judgment. Find us on social media at the World Harmony Project. And you can always reach us with questions at ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org.
We love hearing from you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and read today's lesson together. I can start us off, and then maybe you can take the second paragraph.
Sounds good.
Lesson 250, let me not see myself as limited. Let me behold the Son of God today and witness to his glory. Let me not try to obscure the holy light in him and see his strength diminished and reduced to frailty, nor perceive the lacks in him with which I would attack his sovereignty.
He is your Son, my Father, and today I would behold his gentleness instead of my illusions. He is what I am, and as I see him, so I see myself. Today I would see truly that this day I may at last identify with him.
This lesson, it just immediately hits home, doesn't it? This core idea that we're often unconsciously diminishing others, it feels like such a pervasive human thing. Yeah.
And that phrase, let me not try to obscure,
Yes.
it points right to that choice we're making, doesn't it? A decision to cover over someone's inner light, even if we're not fully aware we're doing it.
Exactly. The try to obscure part is key.
Yeah.
It suggests an active effort, even if it's subconscious.
A decision to see them as limited, not just an objective observation. The Course is saying this is always a choice, never just a fact.
And it's so easy to justify this, right? To call it being realistic.
Oh, definitely.
Like if someone cuts me off in traffic, my first thought isn't usually, the Son of God having a rough morning.
Probably not.
It's more like, wow, what a jerk. I'm reacting to the behavior, seeing them only through that lens. But the Course challenges that. It asks us to see our choice in that perception, our choice to see limitation.
And missing the deeper truth of who they are.
Right. And that choice, seeing limitation in others, it inevitably leads back to us, doesn't it? Experiencing limitation in ourselves.
The lesson's ending nails it. He is what I am. It links those two perceptions directly.
It's such a fascinating progression in the lesson. It starts with, behold the Son of God, almost like looking at someone separate. And then it concludes with this complete identification. He is what I am. It perfectly mirrors that journey from seeing separation to recognizing oneness.
That whole idea of identification is so central to the Course, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that phrase, that this day I may at last identify with him, especially the at last part, it feels so significant. Especially with lesson 250 being the final one in the What is the World section, it feels like, okay, we've arrived. This is the culmination. Our perception of the world is our perception of ourselves.
Which brings us to that really powerful phrase in the lesson, attacking his sovereignty. What is this sovereignty we shouldn't attack? It's not about ego choices or, worldly power.
Right. Not like a king's sovereignty.
No. Sovereignty here means that inherent divine authority, that fundamental part of everyone's being that can't actually be diminished by what happens on the outside or by perceived flaws. It's untouchable.
So everyone has this inherent wholeness, regardless of behavior.
Yes.
So when I perceive someone as weak or lacking, or I don't know, just mean, I'm not just observing, I'm kind of participating in denying their true nature.
You're choosing not to see it.
And since the Course teaches there's only one Son appearing as many, denying their sovereignty means I'm actually undermining my own ability to recognize my true identity. It's like denying a part of myself.
That's precisely why the lesson guides us specifically to behold another's gentleness. The Course often redefines strength, doesn't it? It moves beyond just dominance or force. True power, it suggests, is that deep capacity to stay gentle, stay open, even when things are difficult.
Like an inner resilience.
Exactly. An inner resilience that doesn't need to attack or get defensive.
And that's where it gets really practical, I think. When I consciously choose to look for someone's gentleness, even when they're being defensive or aggressive, instead of just reacting, the whole dynamic can subtly shift.
It really can.
It's not about trying to manipulate them or anything. It's just refusing to get on that same attack-defense merry-go-round that keeps us feeling separate.
Stepping off the ego's reaction cycle.
Yes.
And that's the sort of practical magic here. It's not about pretending difficult behavior isn't happening.
Right, not ignoring it.
No, it's about seeing through it. Seeing through it to the underlying gentleness that's always there, even if it's, really hidden. And the amazing side effect is that when you practice that consistently, you start finding that same capacity for gentleness in yourself. It strengthens your own peace.
Let's go a bit deeper into perceive the lacks in him. This isn't only about obvious judgments. It seems to cover any perception of someone as less than whole, even like compassionate thoughts. Oh, poor John, he's really struggling. That could actually be a subtle attack on his sovereignty if it reduces him to being diminished instead of just experiencing a challenge.
That's such a critical distinction.
It's fine, isn't it?
It is. There's a huge difference between recognizing someone's going through a tough time, which maintains their dignity,
Offers support.
and seeing them purely as a victim of their circumstances. The second one, even if well-intentioned, often reinforces powerlessness. For both people involved, actually.
That connects right to the next part. See his strength diminished and reduced to frailty.
Yes.
We do that all the time, don't we? We take a temporary weakness or a mistake and we kind of blow it up into their entire identity.
We label them by it.
Yeah. Someone loses their job and suddenly they're the unemployed person, not a person who's between jobs right now. We literally diminish their strength to frailty in how we see them.
And the Course keeps reminding us that this inherent divine authority, this sovereignty, it exists completely independently of all that.
Right. Independent of circumstances, behavior.
It's the untouchable core truth about everyone. It stays constant no matter what's happening in their life. That's why it can't really be diminished, only denied in our perception.
But okay, that's the real challenge, isn't it? We can't see this sovereignty with our physical eyes. Our eyes see bodies, actions, situations.
It's the surface.
So the Course is asking for a totally different kind of vision, seeing through appearances to what's always true about everyone beyond their temporary form. It's spiritual vision.
Absolutely. And notice how the lesson moves. It starts with, let me behold the Son of God today. Sounds external, right?
Yeah, like watching someone else.
But it ends with, he is what I am. Complete identification. That journey in the lesson itself shows us that what we see out there is really just a reflection of our own mind. The outer world is a mirror.
When I see limitation in another person, I'm actually seeing my own belief in limitation projected out onto them. Like my internal projector is just running its usual film on the world screen.
That's the idea.
And when I recognize someone's inherent wholeness, their sovereignty, I'm not giving them something they lack.
No.
I'm remembering a truth that we both share.
Yeah.
It's a shared recognition, and that sets both of us free in a way.
Which is why the Course is so direct.
Yeah.
As I see him, so I see myself. Your perception doesn't magically change the other person's reality.
Right.
But because there's fundamentally only one self appearing as many,
Yeah.
how you choose to see that self in anyone directly shapes your own experience of it, everywhere.
It's like an immediate feedback loop.
Profoundly immediate.
This makes the lesson incredibly practical then, for just everyday life.
Totally.
Every single interaction is an opportunity. The checkout clerk, that coworker who drives you nuts,
Yes.
even family members who know just how to push your buttons. They're all invitations to remember who you really are by choosing to see who they really are. It turns ordinary moments into practice.
Now, we should acknowledge this isn't always easy.
Definitely not.
When someone's behavior is genuinely hurtful or destructive, it takes real spiritual maturity to look past that surface to their inherent gentleness. The Course isn't asking us to be naive.
Or a doormat.
Exactly. Not a doormat. It encourages us to hold two things at once, set appropriate boundaries on the level of behavior,
Practical boundaries.
and simultaneously recognize their innocence, their true nature at that deeper level.
That's a really crucial point. The difference between setting boundaries and enabling someone.
Yes.
I can recognize someone's sovereignty, their true worth, and still say no to harmful behavior. In fact, sometimes seeing their strength means not indulging their weakness. It's a kind of loving firmness.
And that connects back to gentleness being strength. True gentleness isn't passive or weak. It's a powerful state that doesn't need to attack even when things get dramatic or confrontational. It stays centered, loving, peaceful inside.
If I can manage to stay gentle with someone difficult, it's not just for them. It's a huge discovery about my own nature. I learn my peace doesn't actually depend on how others act. That's incredibly freeing.
That's the real goal here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not ultimately about fixing others or making them behave better.
No.
It's about discovering that the Son of God you manage to see in them is the very same Son of God that you are. That phrase, at last identify with him, it's about finally seeing yourself clearly in the mirror of the other person.
And when the lesson says witness to his glory, it assumes the glory is already there, right? We're not creating it. We're just acknowledging what's already true, like giving testimony, stating what we know about their inherent wholeness, regardless of current appearances.
And that ties everything back to the main question of this section. What is the world? The world we experience is what we choose to witness. It's the collective testimony of our shared perception. If we consistently witness wholeness instead of limitation, we're actively co-creating a different experience of the world.
That actually leads perfectly into a listener question we haven't done one lately.
Oh, good.
This is from Denise, and it connects so well with this whole theme of seeing truly.
Okay, let's hear it.
Denise writes, I feel like the Course is very anti-world. God isn't here. God didn't create it. The ego created it because it believes in separateness. But what about those of us who love the world? If God is all that is, then it makes no sense to say that God is not here. God is here, and life can be an opportunity to play, grow, and create. Is the Course trying to make me hate the world?
That's a really heartfelt and important question.
Denise, first off, I want to say directly, the Course is absolutely not trying to make you hate the world. God would never teach hate, ever. In fact, everything we think we hate or resist is actually presented as an opportunity to learn love, to recognize oneness. It's always about expanding love, not shutting it down.
And there's a beautiful paradox here, Denise. It's because the world is so dear to us, because we love parts of it, that God uses it to teach us real love. The Course isn't saying, stop loving sunsets or music or people you care about. Not at all.
No.
It's guiding us to love them differently. Without the ego's fear, its attachment, its constant low-level anxiety about loss, that deeper love is actually far more joyful, far more free.
When we're asked to see someone without limitations, we're not ignoring them or saying they don't matter. We're asked to see them so clearly, so lovingly, that their true nature shines through all the appearances. That kind of seeing expands love. It doesn't diminish it.
The Course can seem tricky sometimes, when it says things mean nothing at the ego level.
Yeah, that can sound harsh.
It can sound dismissive, but it's actually a strategic move. It's clearing away the ego's interpretations, all the meanings we've layered on top, to make space. Space to see everything fresh, with healed vision, free from fear and neediness.
Because ego's love is always tangled up with fear, isn't it?
Certain ways.
I love this sunset, but I'm afraid it will end. I love this person, but I'm afraid they'll leave or change. There's always that undercurrent of potential loss. It's conditional.
Fragile. The Course offers a way to love without that fragility, without that anxiety.
So applying Lesson 250 here, learning to see people without limitations, witnessing their glory instead of our judgments. That's also learning how to love without the ego's agenda.
Yes, loving them for who they truly are, their inherent worth, not just for what they do for us or how they make us feel.
Yeah.
It's a love that starts to mirror God's love.
And the same applies to your life for the world, Denise. The Course isn't asking you to stop finding joy in nature or creativity or play. It's inviting you to find an even deeper joy. One that isn't dependent on things staying the same or getting something from the experience. It's more like tapping into an inner wellspring of joy rather than relying on an external faucet.
Now, about the part where the Course says God isn't here, that's often misunderstood.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It means God, in his perfect oneness, doesn't enter into our illusion of separation, our dream world. God remains in perfect knowledge, but Christ, the Holy Spirit, is here. That's God's voice, God's presence within the dream, bridging the gap, speaking to us in ways we can understand. guiding us back toward remembering God's reality.
Okay, so when Denise feels God's presence in a sunset or feels divine love in a connection, what's happening there according to the Course?
That's her own holiness, her innate connection to God being reflected back to her. The world itself is like a mirror. It doesn't inherently contain holiness or lack it. It just reflects what's in the mind of the perceiver.
So the world is neutral, a screen. When our perception is healed, guided by the Holy Spirit, we start seeing holiness everywhere because that's what we are. We're projecting our healed perception.
And today's lesson, Lesson 250, reinforces that perfectly. Seeing without limitations, witnessing glory that allows our own holiness to shine through and be reflected back.
Which is why it culminates in, He is what I am. The holiness you manage to see in another is the exact same holiness within you. We share that same essential nature as God's Holy Son. When perception is healed, that's what we recognize everywhere.
So Denise, when you feel God's presence in the world, absolutely trust that experience.
Yes, trust it.
That's your own divine nature, recognizing itself through a moment of healed perception. The Holy Spirit is using the very world you love to teach you about your own holiness, your unbreakable connection to God.
The Course might seem anti-world at first glance because it's dismantling our egoic relationship with the world. All the ways we use it for specialness, or to hide from fear, or to get things.
Right. It takes away the ego's playground. But it does that to make room for something far more real. A truly authentic, loving, and deeply joyful relationship with everything and everyone.
So no, Denise, definitely not trying to make you hate anything. It's trying to free you from the ego's version of love, which is always based on fear and lack. So you can discover what real love feels like. And real love doesn't hate. It just sees everything as either love itself or a call for love, an opportunity for healing.
And Denise, your resistance to the idea of hating the world, that's actually spot on with the Course's true teaching. Your intuition for joy, for creativity, for sensing God's presence, that is your holiness recognizing itself. That's Christ's vision working through you. You're already connecting with it.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Well, Lesson 250 really does feel like the perfect culmination for this section, doesn't it? After exploring how perception shapes everything, this lesson just brings it right home. What we witness out there is, ultimately, our own reflection. Seeing the Son of God as God created him whole, unlimited, not the limited self the ego made up.
Thank you so much, Denise, for sending in that question. It's so helpful when people share their honest struggles and insights. It helps all of us.
It truly does.
And if you or anyone listening has feedback or follow-up questions, please reach out.
Looking ahead now, the next section of the workbook is titled, What is Sin?
Ooh, another light topic.
Indeed. We usually put out an extra little episode around noon, the day before a new section starts, just to review the introductory essay together. So keep an eye or ear out for that.
Good reminder.
And then tomorrow, we dive into the first lesson of that section, Lesson 2001.
Okay. Until then, may we all practice seeing without limits. In others, definitely, but also in ourselves and in this amazing world that the Course uses as our classroom for waking up.
Beautifully said. Until next time, everyone.
We'll talk to you then.